Bing, 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 bing. So we are live. It is the Website One kickoff. It's a Friday. So the idea with the kickoffs is that we bring tickets from Website One that we want to vote on, so they can get voted on, and we can then start working on them. And that had worked reasonably well some weeks, and then I got very busy with the NHS project, and yeah, but that's kind of been happening. We're still not achieving kind of the full agile cycle that maybe ideally that we'd want. Maybe we need to move towards this other thing that Michael suggested and that would come up in the Agile Book Club podcast, which is about having kind of a theme for a 6-week chunk and trying to focus on particular stories in that 6 weeks. Also, there's this question of like sort of reviewing and reflecting on how well things are going. We're doing more of these kickoff sessions for both Website One and other projects. They can often turn out to be just sort of help sessions where we end up investigating things. I guess it's all good at some level. So I guess what we should probably start off by doing is just checking in on what people did since the last kickoff. Certain people took on particular tickets, and so let's check in on those before we start any new business. I'm going to start with Michael. So you worked on a couple of tickets, certainly got a couple of pull requests in. You want to just remind me what they were?
Yeah, so I got a pull request in for a ticket related to the out-of-date data on the GitHub commits of people and projects. And, basically to get better logging in when those things fail.
Right.
So we did that, and that should be going out soon to production.
Right.
And then the other thing is what did I do? Trying to remember. Oh, the pinging the project channels with the Hangout links.
Right. Yes.
When a pair programming or a Scrum associated with the project goes live, like through manual update, then it should ping. We had lost that once the plugin
Indeed
went defunct.
Yes, 2 great pieces of work. I'm just noticing one of them here for some reason didn't move over into the done column. I'll move that over now. Yeah, so they've both been merged in. I think I've got them on staging at the moment. I was just encountering some errors on staging, and so I was just running some of the related tasks just before I pushed them out into production. But yeah, two great fixes. Great work, Michael, getting those done. That's fantastic. I guess so you're not blocked by anything other than just we need to get them pushed out, and you might be in the market for some new tasks.
Yes.
All right. Let's go on to Matt. So you now. Did you forgive me as I get older? These things I can sort of see if I go to the pull request, I guess I can look at which ones were. Well, what were the key ones that you worked on this last week, Matt?
I need to see them too. One of them was trying to get the videos back on the projects and user pages.
Right. Yes.
Fix video links, and apparently there's still problems. So I opened another ticket. I think that probably improves it a little bit, but I outlined 2 additional problems I saw in a new ticket.
Right. Great, that's excellent. Maybe we will vote on that and have a little look at it, because yeah, it seems like the problem was more complicated, or it was happening in more areas than we originally imagined.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And so yeah, so that's, and yet you've also in parallel you've been working on the getting started thing, which is still kind of like a spiky work in progress thing, which is cool.
Yeah, Avinash is working on it too.
Yeah, which is fantastic that you're able to pair with him on that. Really great. So yeah, I guess the blocking thing for you is just this thing, we need to vote on that, and you've got a task. Anything else particularly on your mind or that we need to address for you today?
I don't think so.
Cool. Now, was Lokesh only just joining us as an intern for the next 2 months, and so you won't have started anything. You're just sort of seeing how this goes. I hope it's making some sense for you. Also, Ashley, welcome. Great to have you with us. I know that you were looking at the getting started thing with Matt. Any other things on your mind? Any other concerns?
Who are you talking to there, Sam?
Sorry, say again. You're not able to hear us, okay?
Who are you talking to, Sam?
To you, Ashley. I was saying, oh, hey, Ashley, I know you'd been talking to Matt about the getting started.
Yeah, got it. So, yeah, I was working with Matt on getting started, and it seems like that task isn't quite ready to go. I'm not clear. So I'm here to, so I can understand better about what are the right tasks to work on and
Sure.
how they're going.
Great. Yes. And if there are any other aspects of website 1 that you'd like to sort of bring up and have us focus on, we can also do that. But yeah, great. Okay. And then I can just sort of see, actually, this is a very helpful reminder here. I can see the other things that we've done. I got a pull request in, which is changing reducing the font size slightly as agreed with the marketing team. We've got other things now. I forget how far back they are. Maybe this was all stuff from the week before. 4 days ago. Yeah, and then also we had Alex, who couldn't be here today. I spent a lot of time with him trying to get some more graceful error handling in. So hopefully by the end of today we can get everything out. There's one other thing here. Oh yeah, that was my helping Alex. Okay, so I think what we've got is, in terms of the things to do, we've got one ticket that we might vote on, which is presumably the new issue that no, I can't see it over here. Yeah, yeah, we've got this issue here to vote on. In doing the deployment, I guess one issue for me is I would love to have a better mechanism of, like get the pull requests in and then checking, this mechanism for like checking them on staging, and like, I often have like 3 or 4 things. I tend to like wait until there's a few things have been merged. Right, let's start to do a push out. Maybe I should be like pushing out every individual thing as it goes on. That's, I don't know, separate DevOps thing that I won't bother you with necessarily. So there's voting on this. There's looking at the getting started ticket. Does anybody have any other issues that have come up, things that they want to get voted on so that they can work on them at all?
My question is, and so feel free to push this off to later or some other time.
Uh-huh.
So in coming into the project and looking for things to work on, I look at the waffle board and I look at things that are up for grab, that are marked as up for grabs. So are those really ready to go? It seems like some of them actually need more discussion and refinement. I'm not sure, I'm not sure if the issue is more with me and I just need to be more familiar with it, or if maybe the labels aren't as informative as they could be.
Well, there's a process that it goes through. I think it's always the case that something could use further discussion.
Sure,
I think we've got, the process that we go through, which is that, in a meeting like this, we will, vote on issues. If they get, voted, they go into estimated. If we think that they're ready to start on, then we move them into the ready column. And if we think that they're ones that, in principle, new people to the project could work on, we add the up for grabs ticket, label. But our judgments may often be wrong.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that the thing to do in some ways is get involved in the process and help. I'm sure the process can be improved. It's gone through lots of changes, and yeah.
Okay, good. That's a good overview. That's helpful.
Yeah. So I guess the I mean so there's this process that there's refining the process, and then there's like using the process as it currently is, and you know doing things. I guess other things being equal, we'll vote on this new issue that's come up. Michael, do you have new things that you want to get voted on?
No, fam, no.
No. I'm just trying to think if I've got other things I want to get voted on. I guess I'm not gonna. Let's think about it. My mind is like completely taken up with the sort of DevOps deployment of stuff at the moment. So yeah. All right. Well, let's do that. Let's do that voting thing, which might help the process, become clearer for those who haven't been with us before. So so let's just tell you about this particular issue. It was originally highlighted by what are they called? It's originally highlighted by one of the groups of students in Binghamton. The whole issue itself is, it's one of those things like, should we be disabling all this functionality? Because it's all about the display of videos. So when the Google Hangout plugin was working, any event that took place and someone recorded the Hangout with the plugin, the video would, with the wind direction was appropriate, would get posted. I don't know, is it the bike strap? Okay, would get posted, and there'll be a link to it on the site, and it's a potentially pleasing feature of the site that people can see their videos up there. But so here it is like this, and yeah, so that was a feature that certainly was working. It was reported that part of it had stopped. I think, I don't know, but so we've got, if you see here with the console, there's no errors there. If I click on that there, yeah, okay. So this is the error that people were encountering. I mean, here you can't really see, because I think that the first video in the list is automatically loaded, and so it's there and you can play it. But the selection process fails because as we move to HTTPS, we're still trying to load these things via HTTP, and so Chrome and certain other browsers complain about that. So if we've got, gosh, now where is it? I don't know, just find one that's got some more bits and pieces. Anyway, that's the basic problem. Now, Matt started working on fixing that and did the pull request. And I think that you may have fixed it for individual users. Matt, is that looking at the code that you were changing the event instance presenter, which I think is these are the guys who were originally reporting the issue. Is that going to the video list?
I may have, Sam, but can I just say something?
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the problem is whoever originally put the ticket in just put in the fix. They didn't describe the problem, so I didn't know what I was fixing. I just did what the ticket said.
Right.
And but now the ticket describes the two problems left. What I understand to be the two problems left. And there were maybe 4 problems total, so I don't know if it's going to might waste time, finding all those 4 problems and seeing which. I think I might have fixed 2 of the 4.
Right. So this is the original ticket.
Okay.
Right, which linked specifically to this page that I just went to, and shows the errors that we get in the browser on that page.
Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't.
Yeah, but I think then Alex made a suggestion specifically about fixing that. He thought that it could be fixed by making changes in this file. And I think that, yeah, he's maybe was being optimistic.
Yeah, because that might have fixed one problem, but there's another problem.
Well, there's a problem. There's maybe 2 layers of problems. There's also, if we're specific, the event instance presenter. I don't think it's actually used in this page.
Oh.
Because this is the projects page, and it's presenting the projects videos. So So there's
sidetracked. I guess it's nice that he got a suggestion, but I should have kind of stuck to the description of the problem.
well, I think it's this is the thing.
Yeah, it's
it's difficult because you wrapped it in tests, and I saw it and looked at it, and it looked good, and I approved it. So there's no blame associated with any of this. We're just trying to get to the bottom of what's the issue. So yeah, and it kind of both for the developer and then also for the DevOps person down the line is when we have a fix, like trying to tie it back to the original thing. But so like this thing that was fixed in the event instance presenter, that was important to fix as well. What's not clear to me at the moment is whether that actually achieves the fix that we need. I mean, I guess we're at risk of doing a deep autopsy on this. See, this is the thing that's stopping me from, like, when I try and look at my account on the staging server, I'm getting a 500 internal error. I was trying to find like a user on here that would have some videos so that I could see if the video thing was working. Like, have we got
So we need a good test, case that exercises all this. Sounds like first, right?
Indeed. I think part of the difficulty is that the problem occurs, like, it's specifically in the browser. But yeah, in principle we can write the right kind. Now here, let's see, are we still getting the?
It doesn't change.
No, it's not changed. So like, and this is going to be the second error that comes up. Now see, this is saying here. Okay, so if I click that and I get another, yeah. So I think the place that you were trying to make the fix there, Matt, as suggested by Alex, it seemed like that might have been the right kind of fix, but it seems then here that actually in the browser we're still getting the same kind of error. But are you not getting this in your own browser when you test the site locally?
I don't know.
No. Oh well, don't worry. I think Ashley is right that we need. Yeah, we can't necessarily entirely replicate the browser test without doing a lot of things, but we kind of need to get into the code. Like, I think we need to understand the code behind, like, clicking on this link. Like, for me, I don't even immediately know.
That shows an HTTPS link.
Yes,
it does. But when we click on it, it says the page at was loaded over but requested an insecure response. Now, the thing I was pointing Matt to earlier today.
So if you copy the link, what does it show up as?
No, I think if we open this in a new window, or like if we copy the link, it is correct. It's like HTTPS. Yeah, but I think that's being done by the presenter. I think when we click on the link, I think that there's some JavaScript operating, and that's what's causing this error. And I think if we look here in scrums.js, we can see that there's a place where it still has this. Right. So I think, to link it back to Ashley's thing, I think what we need in order to check that this error is not occurring, we need like a JavaScript test that checks that when a person
yeah, we need a JavaScript test that clicks on that link and then checks that the thing that the video links to in the iframe is correct. Right.
So we've got this scrum. Now, presumably, we even have in the tests, do we have our JavaScript? But we might even have a test in there. That's what JavaScripts. We have a Scrum. We don't have a Scrum spec. Yeah. So it looks like we might be missing a test for that. And that might we could be at risk of making the same mistake that it seems that Alex made, which was a slight misdiagnosis of the problem. But I guess that to come back to the board here, that was
what happens if you change the HTTP to HTTPS?
Run it locally. Oh, in my local system.
It still didn't seem to work, but
Oh, you tried that locally, Matt, and it didn't seem to have any impact?
Can we run it now?
Right. But you could,
yeah, in principle.
I think it's still going to get a 404 for some reason.
Well, that and then this is like there's another error behind it.
I think
that we saw that it's the way in which the oh gosh, what is it? Like it we that error changes and we get a different error. But yeah, maybe we can replicate that. But so it comes. I think we've had an attempt to change that. We've got a new ticket. So this is the general. Definitely, this is the issue. The clicking on videos in the list is not working, and that's even if the new videos are not being added, and maybe this is not such an important part of the site. People coming and browsing through and clicking on this and not working are clearly not going to be impressed. So it would be good to get it fixed. So yeah, I mean, I guess so. We could be carrying on investigating it, or we could draw a line under it there and say we've got an idea of the general problem. Is it worth taking it to a vote and then letting people, whoever want to focus on that particular issue, carry on with it? And then that leaves some time for discussion of other issues.
Yeah.
Can we just check this? See what's going
We
on.
can certainly bring up the second error. That I mean, I think what we will need to get into ultimately is like what's going on here. I mean, there's there's all this JavaScript. I think somehow relying on the YouTube API. Go on, Ashley.
I was going to say, for sure, we know that there are two things that need to be done. Excuse me. One is that somebody needs to write a test that really exercises this, right? Shows the errors. And then the other is that somebody needs to explore and better define this. Is this one task? Is it two tasks? So those two things could be done. And so if you want to vote on, I don't know if you want to vote on those as one task as a whole, or how you want to split them up.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I'd keep that as one task. I mean, we had tests for the previous version of this, and I think that they didn't include JavaScript tests, and that's what we'll be needing. I guess the thing Michael's keen to see is like what's the nature of the second error, which I think we can just see here, and hopefully that will allow us to take it. I would certainly suggest for going for. Oh, come on, give me the in console, thank you. So if we try and click on some things there, we can see. So this with the we get this. This is the next error, Michael.
So I think
really?
we find the problem good, and maybe just Ashley's suggestion could go in there that
Like a
the
404
problem
found.
Yeah, once we fix the HTTPS issue, we get another issue, which is so there's like another error there that
And that's with like every video, we think.
Yeah, I haven't yet been able to get this to work anywhere. Like when I do this, I think both in individuals, so the video is going to appear for both individuals and in projects. And when with this, there's some problem here. So it basically requires someone to go in and like look at what this is really doing. I mean, it's this iframe, and it's trying to set that thing, and then the URL here, it's complaining that just doesn't, that's like not available. And if we try and go to it, maybe that it's trying to download that. It's maybe that the formatting in the link for YouTube there is like, that's kind of weird that it kind of goes video download.
What if you get rid of the question mark on the end?
Yeah.
Huh.
So anyway, there's definitely stuff to investigate there. I think we could go take this to a vote on how complex this will be to both write the test and fix the issue.
Right.
All right, let's vote.
So yeah, I'm just going to use we've got a new voter, which is all on Azure now, and thank you to Microsoft for funding us there. Let's get that in there. So I don't know, Lokesh, if you're in the channel here.
Yeah, I'm in.
Great, and for this is going to be video link clicking. That's the waffle thing. So we've got, yes, simple, medium, or hard. If you would like to click your button there.
Can you give a 140 character definition of simple, medium, and hard for your project?
I certainly can. The simple is usually just a change to the interface that's not going to touch is not going to require any changes to the database or any new, libraries. If it requires changing the database schema or adding a new library, then it can, I would start to slide that up to a medium. And then if it requires extensive changes to the database or multiple new libraries, particularly ones that we're unfamiliar with or are not well supported, then that gets into hard. And then there's, but similarly with things that are like tricky to test because they're difficult to replicate, that also slides it up there. So it's sort of, we're voting on the, how hard we think it is going to be to get the job done.
Good, thank you.
So Ashley's over there, and Lokesh, you can absolutely, if you want to vote, feel free to do so. If you're like, oh, this is too new to me and I don't know yet, then not voting is also totally an option. But I guess Lokesh,
We have the abstain ticket going in.
yeah, we've got a new feature coming out soon, which will be the no opinion button. I assume, Lokesh, if you haven't voted, that's probably because you don't want to. Should I hold off and wait for you to vote, Lokesh?
Sam, actually, I'm facing a problem. I cannot see your screen which you are sharing.
Ah, okay. Well, you don't need to see my screen in order to vote. You just need to be in the website one channel, which you may I think you're in
On Slack.
on Slack, yeah.
Okay.
And it looks like you're not in the chat. I got two accounts for you. I'm going to invite you into the channel. Yeah, so you should now be in the channel on Slack.
Oh, yeah, I can see.
So if you want to click one of simple, medium, or hard, be my guest. If you don't want to click one of them, you're not sure, that's fine. You can click reveal for us and just, and you voted. So yeah, reveal, there we go. Okay. So, oh, well, I'm the outlier. So yeah, the way we do it is the person who's, in the minority has to justify what's going on. Yeah, I was just thinking this might be a really tricky one to test, but I'm happy to go with the majority for a medium there. Yeah, totally. Yeah, sure. Let's go for medium and move on. So yeah, that's voted on. Gosh, the Slack notification there is in the. I don't like. It's like go away. I don't want that there because I want to click on this tab. Here we go. All right. So here is the site. So we're going to put that as 2. And I think this is, clearly highly ready for someone to start working on. There we go. Clicking on videos is not working. Does anybody want to take the lead on this?
I can try. Well, I don't.
Okay.
Supposedly, I know JavaScript. So.
Well, we can leave that until somebody's,
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we can leave that. So, do we have any other issues that we'd like to vote on?
Yes.
Yes, Michael. What would you like to vote on?
1583.
1583.
A year.
The vintage. Yes.
What the hell?
Was it a vintage year or was it not? Here we go. Make premium benefits a Y instead of a what? Excellent. Okay. Yes. Okay, so that's about changing the descriptions in the premium pages.
I think Ashley should be assigned since she suggested it.
Okay. Well, we've got to work out the size of it first. I guess the first thing is just to make sure that everybody understands the tickets. Ashley, I think, was suggesting, making improvements to the text in the premium part of the site. Ashley, would you like to talk about your thoughts behind this ticket?
Sure. It's been a while since I looked at this, but yeah, pretty much what I said in the card. When you're talking about benefits to people, I mean, you do.
Yeah.
The question you're trying to answer is why. Why
Right.
should I care? Why should I do this? Why should I spend my money?
Uh-huh.
Why is this going to help me, bring about world peace?
Hmm.
So
Right.
that's the core of this.
Yeah. And I
It's
think
like, why is it better than chocolate chip cookies and milk?
yeah. So I think
That's
the-
hard.
we took the you made that example of like, instead of saying JetBrains, it says like free use of full powered remote development, and I think we made that change for that line, and so the same thing could happen for each of the other lines.
So I would be, so I'm thinking about out loud a little bit, both about the scope, the size of this, and my participation. I think I need access to people who better understand these features and benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of minutes with somebody from marketing. I mean, it could be you, Sam, but I think there are other people in Agile Ventures who also. So, at any rate, whoever is
Sure.
working on this will need a couple of minutes,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 15 minutes in a hangout with some people who've been around Agile Ventures for a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I guess what we could do is spend a couple of minutes now with me just reviewing, particularly because Lokesh is new, we could just review what these benefits are that currently come with the premium level. I mean, I guess there's also a premium mob and the other ones and so on, and we can make more time, or as you say, actually hook you up with somebody from marketing. But I think we all understand the first item fairly clearly, that this IDE that I have here, RubyMine, it would normally cost £15 a month, but you can get it for free if you're an Agile Ventures premium member.
Can I, as an example, I want to push you on that a little bit, Sam. Why is having free use of that a big deal? I mean, why is RubyMine any better than just, I could just use my text editor or Atom or whatever?
Right. Well, I mean, interestingly, for some people, it might not be the right choice, but the big feature that I love about it is about being able to jump from, code definitions to where, they are in the rest of the system. So, if you do this, you can jump from a method to see where it's defined. And
You're able to. So, right, I'm just doing this almost only as an example, but so we're able to explore projects quickly and easily, which is valuable, especially when you're new to a project.
Well, and particularly in large legacy projects.
Okay, good, great.
And debug. That's what I like.
Do you use the debugging feature in here, Matt?
Oh yeah.
I use it all the time in RubyMine.
Oh.
Able to debug rake tasks and other things that can be typically more difficult. Not impossible with other tools, but it just sets things up. Also, their GitHub integration has really improved fantastically over the past.
Right. Interestingly, I have generally not been able to get the debugger to work in RubyMine, but maybe I just haven't tried in the more recent editions. And yeah, okay. But there's maybe other features that other people know about. That
right. So this is an example of continue to ask you all sorts of things. You do the 5 whys or whatever, but just continue to say, well, why has this been valuable to you, or why is this valuable? Yes.
Right. And so we did have the original plan so that we were going to make these so that they are drop-down items like these ones that they are now down here, like this. And you advised against that, Ashley, about putting all of that information in there. So, but I'm totally open to, like, the things that we're describing there, like this, this, we do have this section here on, like, okay, so here's some more details, like those things we're saying about the debugger and so on. Yeah, they could totally be added.
Yeah, how they're presented, I mean, there's different ways and different reasons for that, but just getting this information.
Yeah, no, we definitely want to get the reasons for why this is of value to people across in order to help them, see that there's some value for them to derive from signing up for premium. And then so we've spent a couple of minutes on the example of that one. Maybe should we push off reviewing why each of these are? Well, let's maybe I'll just touch on each of them. Like from my point of view, the biggest reason for the access to the premium Slack channels being valuable is that you can get help and support on your professional development, on your job search, on tech tests, on these things from Agile Ventures mentors. Professional code review is so that you can improve your coding. You can get priority code review from your Agile Ventures mentors. You get the eligibility to work on paid projects. We've talked about removing this priority project concept really because it's not making so much sense. There's overall, to get it working on a paid project, that's something that you can put on your resume. Supporting the mission, we're trying to, do projects that are all for good causes and help people. So, giving us money is helping the world. Sometimes, when you're trying to ask for help online through Stack Overflow, people are mean to you or they're not responsive, and we'll try and go in there and give you support so that you feel supported and able to ask those important questions. And then Code School has lots of classes for helping you level up in tech, and they will give us a discount for our non-profit status if you join us as a premium member.
Great. So I'm making little notes as you're going through these.
Cool. And of course, we're all videos. And yeah, so definitely this could all use improvement and sort of wordsmithing and so on and so forth. But yes, so that's this ticket. Anything more that we need to say about this ticket?
No.
So is this just for premium page, or is this for?
Well, potentially it could be for the same approach. Presumably, could be applied to premium mob and premium face-to-face, and so on.
What are we saying this whole ticket is? What are we voting on?
Well, go on,
I'd like
Ashley.
to keep it scope just to this, so that it can get done, and then like Sam said, we could take the same approach and say, okay, let's do this with other aspects of the web, other content or whatever.
No, I mean, are we saying that this ticket is just addressing just the premium rather than the premium?
Yeah, I think the answer to that is yes, Michael. Yes, this is just the premium page and not the premium mob page. And we can get this done for the premium page, and then we can have a separate ticket later on for doing it for the premium mob page.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Matt or Lokesh, any other questions about this ticket?
No.
Then
No.
I will move us to a vote in the same channel. I will not bring it onto the screen because for some reason bringing that from that screen to this screen seems to slow my computer down enormously. So I'm going to leave it over there. This is improving text on premium page. Dum, dum, dum. And if you would like to place your votes. Dun, 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 dun. And we can reveal the votes. And they are all, we all said simple. We all said simple. Interesting. And we said it twice. So that's a 1. And we can move that over. I think that's definitely ready to be worked on. Dun, 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 dun. And so, yes. So I think that's probably, if people have other things that they would like to vote on, I would suggest that we make that, they can be done asynchronously. Votes can take place at any time with our great asynchronous photo. Yay, thanks so much for making the wonderful asynchronous photo. And thanks to me for getting it on Azure. And thanks to Matt for switching the Slack apps around. Yay. So we've got two things that two new tickets that have got estimates that don't have anybody assigned to them. Would anybody like to of the two new things that we voted on?
Sure, I'll take that one we just talked about.
Great. Thank you so much, Ashley. And does anybody want to? I know we've got to type in Weedy, haven't we, instead of Ashley here, because otherwise I won't find you. Oh no, it's going to do one thing. While I struggle with the interface here, would anybody like to take the other ticket?
Nothing.
And that, oh yeah, Matt's going to put his name down for that one. I now can't find the ticket. So yeah, what was the ticket number? Can I tell the ticket number from there?
Ooh, Dragon.
Yeah.
I thought that's the one we're talking about.
A search for video.
Oh, have I just like completely screwed it up, and I should have been putting. Okay, there we go. All right. Well, I think that's our kickoff. In as much as I won't take any tickets because I'm going to be on vacation next week. Please do feel free to run a kickoff in my absence next Friday.
Who would like it while we're all here? Michael, could you take the lead on the kickoff? Maybe just even reminding people that it's happening.
Next week.
Yeah. Does that work for you?
Sure, I guess. Yeah. I'm not sure if we're gonna hold it though, but yeah.
Well, that's what that's.
Yeah, I guess what I'm hearing from Ashley there, Michael, is that Ashley's saying it would be nice to have it, and if you took the lead on it, then that would increase the chances that it took place.
Right, and so you could be in charge of making sure that decision is made one way or the other. Even just being clear about that, I think, will be helpful to people. Yes, we're going to have it. No, we're not. And if yes, you can set up the Slack reminders or whatnot.
Yeah, maybe in a reminder an hour before, like.
Yeah, just FYI, you all. I use Slack reminders a lot. You can have it set up to remind you. I just had one come up. Remind me. You asked me to remind you to post the Agile Book Club topics for next week.
Mm-hmm. And so I think maybe on the Agile Book Club on Monday, it's a holiday in both the US and UK. I will personally be away, so I think.
Okay.
But Ashley and Michael, feel free to hold one in my absence, but maybe it will be another week before we get to the Agile Book Club. So coming back to that's some of the process of getting tickets through. The idea is that they get into the ready column and they have somebody assigned to them and they have a vote on them, and then when a person opens a new branch prefix with that number, it'll get automatically moved into progress. When they submit a pull request that says fixes that number, the pull request will get attached. I think this one has been merged here, and if those things are all sort of done, it's got that green and red there. I think that's representing failing things, or who knows. Boom, boom, boom. I guess what I will just add an issue is we've got the it's renewal of SSL certificates is coming up, but we've got like 19 days, so I think I'll do that when I get back. Needs to be done on all servers. Okay. So yeah, I guess I was there's what we have done. Sorry, I couldn't help but just mention this. What has been pushed out live is now when people, I guess when they're logged in and they're not a premium member, because we've just been talking about the benefits of that, is now when you click onto here, it lands you straight on this, whereas previously it used to take you directly to the payment page. So we're hoping to get more people seeing this text and getting this so that people can kind of immediately absorb why it's a good idea to, they've shown an interest in upgrading to premium by clicking on here. But yeah, if we can then convince them that, yes, it really is a good idea, then, we'll get to there. Okay. So did we, I guess the other thing that remains on the agenda is just potentially any talk about the getting started page.
Right.
I guess I would just say, oh gosh, getting started. It's I think someone has edited. What we've been doing, over the last few months is this sort of ad hoc process of trying to improve the flows of people into the site. We've got the Google AdWords campaign that I was just looking. We've had 1,000 new members since January when that started. Ashley, if you're interested, I'm very happy to try and get you set up with this plugin that I think gives interesting insights on, for the people who are coming in from everywhere, not just from Google AdWords, where they're clicking on. Like we can see here, people landing on the homepage, the percentages for where they go. I recently reduced the amount of text in the Learn and Code pages and added like a sort of call to action to get started. I think what we the flow at the moment, what we have at the moment is if people are logged out of the site, they are the call to action that they will see is, get started now to begin coding on real projects. It takes them to the sign up page. Similarly now in like Learn and Code, we have some text, which is still too much. I want to sort that out. But we've got like 149 people clicking.
Right. So Sam, I mean, I'm looking at the bounce rate, up above is always right. How many people come to the page and then
sure, and then yeah.
At any rate, I mean I'm more interested in getting to the task.
Sure, well, I was just about to get there. No, the bounce rate is. I think from my perspective, the site is deeply flawed in so many ways in terms of communicating the intention, and so like everything we can do to improve that. But so.
Okay.
The point I was building up to was having funneled people to click the sign up. People are signing up, and we seem to certainly have numbers of people signing up. We've set it up. I believe it works, although it's difficult to confirm here without signing up again. Is that once people sign up, the first page they see is this getting started page. This looks like someone's deleted the step 1 for us. But anyhow, I'll get rid of this. So the idea is that, we at the moment we have no shortage of people landing on this page, as far as we can tell. Can we see that they're like 100, 800, lots of page views. Yeah. So I guess the what we've been talking about is, can we improve this page so that people will, take further steps and join a, get to the point where they check out a project, join a Scrum, get more involved, get in the Slack, start talking to other people. That's the whole motivation for the, the potential changes to the getting started page. But it's a bit woolly, and we're planning this big design sprint, which is maybe not necessarily going to focus on the getting started page, but on trying to understand, how to improve all parts of the site. But I don't know. I was just going through that to sort of give you some context as to our motivation for this getting started page ticket. Does that make any sense?
That's helpful. That's really helpful to me.
You might be interested in cutting to the chase, and the fact that the only reason I'm working on it is because it's interesting to do at the moment. Okay.
Well, I mean, I think
with Avinash, he's learning the system. But maybe that's not the only reason, but that's the main reason that we're doing it.
Yeah, and I think so. So Ashley, your inclination, which is to kind of try and like understand the bigger and the wherewithal and everything, I think is absolutely correct. I think that's exactly the right way to go. And I think Matt and I are sort of clear that, if he focuses in on building a particular solution with a particular bit of code, that it might, who knows if it's really going to meet the needs, but he's kind of keen to do some coding and to continue experimenting. So
right. So Matt and I paired and came up with an approach and a goal. And so I think, and Matt, you can verify this, where I am is, based on your comments in the GitHub, I'm not sure if I have the same vision as you are as to where we are with this specific. So the background is good and helpful.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
about it more, Sam, and without involving Ashley, we said, well, maybe like administering it is important at the moment. But it's not. None of it's important at the moment.
Well, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it is very important. Like, I think it is really important. I guess and of course, I worry that I'm there's a problem that if ever I'm cautious about anything, that quashes people's enthusiasm or what have you. So maybe I should just be more positive and be embracing ideas.
I think it's just priorities and direction. Is this the right thing to be working on? Right? I mean, yeah. It's really important, and there's plenty of opportunity for improvement with the website. But right, priorities wise, is this the right task to be working on, or should?
Yeah, probably not.
Well, no, I would say it is. I would say that the getting started page, right? That we have lots and lots of people. I think it is very high priority, is improving the getting started page. And I think my sense is that like what we need to do is maybe come up with different designs for what the getting started page might look like. And I was encouraging Matt to do that, and he wanted to work on some code, and so that's fine. I guess when you were talking about, is it time for an admin interface, Ashley, I guess I was kind of like worried that building an admin, like for me, the critical thing is the is seeing the possible what changes that we could have to the getting started page, and what the in the long run, like having an admin view that allows us to see that 20% of people have got to step 1 and 30% have got here and so on. That all sounds great, but I guess it feels like a little bit off the trying to design the experience for getting started.
Let me jump in and one, this is good. This is the whole point, just to have these conversations and work through this. So this is, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm totally comfortable with this kind of back and forth. This is what has to happen. So my view, my vision isn't for like some whole big admin interface or whatever. This is how I got there, and then we can go through it. So in order for a user to track their progress, right, we have to be able to have a model, have a database that tracks that information per user. Clear enough, right? If Matt is going through his getting started process and he's clicking things off as he accomplishes them, we've got to be able to record that, save it in the database, and then come back in and say, okay, I'm on step 3 and blah, blah, blah. So, so then the other part of that is somebody has to be able to say, here are the tasks. And, we have 7 steps that we go through in the getting started page, and then after the design sprint or whatever, we determine that no, really there are 9 tasks, and we need to reorder these. How does that happen? How do we enter those tasks into the system? How do we do the basic CRUD? Create, read, update, read. So that is what was driving my questions about who administers that level of information in the website one system as a whole. I wasn't at all thinking about
about status of how many are through the pathway. Yeah, it's about having an administration of what are the stages. So
in the system,
right. So like the what are the steps? And no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. I guess what I would say is that you were saying like in order to record where they've got to, then we need to have a model and we need to do it and so on. I don't know that that's. I think there are other alternatives in terms of how the getting started page should evolve. Might involve that, but it might. Gosh, I wish my computer was slightly faster. I'm just trying to bring up like a little sketch thing here of we could have a database, and it's like there's a model with 7 elements in it, and then that's the things that you go through. We could also just have like 7 pages, like that each have rather than at the moment what we've got is this we've got like the single long page which has got like like loads of text in it there. So we've got like 1 blah, 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 and then 2 blah, 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 and so on and so on. And it could be that maybe what we would I don't know, I hypothesize that the big long thing of text with like 7 tasks is kind of potentially intimidating for people. But who knows?
People generally don't read long pages.
No, and seeing all the texts. So it might make, we might get a big increase by just by breaking up the existing list into a series of static pages that just say to do one thing, and they link from one to the other. And it could be even simpler than maybe we don't need the database model for this thing. It's just this series of static pages, and you go through them in sequence, and we just use the system, the fact that it remembers when you were on the last page, that we don't worry too much about tracking the people and helping them work out where they are in the sequence. It could just be that the quickest way to sort of improve the people moving through this thing are on this, and then we can use Google Analytics to see how many people actually click through onto the next page, or how many people are actually landing on each of the subsequent stages, if that makes any sense.
So, okay, so 2 thoughts. One is, as we're discussing this and exploring this, the goals are changing a little bit. So it's more about presenting the information in a clear and useful way, and less about giving users the ability to track their progress.
Yes, yeah, because the critical thing is it's not the at the top level for me is it's improving the getting started page so that people move further down the funnel, and they're getting value from that. So like the ability for them to track and see what they've clicked on, that seems to be like one idea of the set of ideas that we could have. And I guess we've got this levels issue here, which is, I guess we've got the specific ticket that's actually in there, which is what's the specific ticket, if I can find it. 1581.
Yeah, so I think that's what Matt and I were working off of. So it has this one version of it. So that's what we were driving.
So
did I just create it myself?
No, I think I created it. I think we voted on it previously, and even I assigned myself to it. But so, yeah, I've got these things in here as a site owner, so that more members get involved in contributing. I would like them to have a simple reminder of how far they've got along when they're, and as a junior member. Yeah, so the ticket there is very much saying, specifically, do these things. But I think since we originally voted on that and created that 3 months ago, we were certainly talking about, could we have something like the free code camp thing? I guess where I've got to in the intervening time is, what's the right thing to have? So I guess what I would say is that, again, so that's one thing, is sort of like trying to experiment with the different high-level designs. And that's what I was sort of saying to Matt before, let's do some mock-ups of different versions, and not just 2, but 3, but 4, 5. And maybe that's Matt wasn't so interested in doing that, he wanted to play with code, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to do. And we've said that sort of experimenting with the different high-level things will be something that we do more in the design.
For help, because I didn't think of what you're just suggesting.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So
Matt and I were focused on
whatever does.
Yeah. Which is perfectly fine. And so I think what I love about the community and where we do things is that there isn't a right or wrong. It's about we do it because we enjoy doing it. So you've been enjoying focusing on but I think maybe ultimately we will want something like this. Maybe like the free code camp, certainly superficially to me seems like that would help people get along the fun, but I don't know what the reality is of the free code camp. What I would also say, Ashley, in response to the point that you make about, okay, we're going to start off, and it's going to be these 3 things, and then that's going to change. At the moment, in the first instance, I'd be perfectly happy if that's a database model and we have, tasks, and they've got like a sequence number of just editing the database to do that. It's I think in the first instance where we're just making those kind of changes, I would go with totally simple. We can do it from the Rails console before going on to designing rather than designing an interface that allows us to change the
So
order.
yeah, that's good. That's good about priorities. So then backing up, here's where I am with this, and then Matt and Sam and Michael and Lakesh, you can verify. So this task, as it's written, as it's entered in GitHub and Waffle, is one possibility for doing this on the Get Starting page. And then
Right.
what I really hear is that doing it this way is not high priority. That really where the priorities are now would be more that getting the static information in. And then perhaps,
go on.
let me,
Go
so,
on.
and then perhaps out of the design sprint that you all are doing, and I
Mhm.
think time zones are going to prohibit me from
Sure.
participating, but then
Lots.
the priorities and directions will really clarify this. Is this the right thing to be working on right now, or is this just one idea that can be explored at some point, but there are other priorities?
Yeah.
that we're working on?
Well,
Yeah,
I think
we all agree. If I can just
Go on,
interject for a
Yeah.
second, it sounds like we're all agreeing that it's not a priority, and like I said at the beginning, we're just doing it for fun and to learn the system. So, and after the design sprint, we might have a different priority.
Well, and I think what we would hope to do in the design sprint is that, for example, having a getting started that tracks, keeps track of where you are, might be one alternative that we prototype, and that
Yeah.
we would be mocking it up very quickly and getting feedback, trying to do like a quick facade of it, and getting feedback from users quickly to kind of work out like of the different things that we can do. Like one of them might be tracking, giving people reminders of how far they've got. Another one is like breaking it up into individual pages or combinations of the two. The idea is to, circumvent this process of actually building it and deploying it and then finding out that it doesn't seem to actually go down very well with users. We want to try in the space of that design sprint, like with the Friday series of usability tests, which, for example, Ashley, maybe you'll be available for a quick usability test on the end of the design sprint, even if you can't join for the whole thing, is then see like, okay, which of the different ways in which we could change the getting started page would actually give us the most traction moving forward. And it might be that this, remembering how far you've done is what people will love, or it might be just that, making it into small things, or something else that we haven't thought of yet. And that's hopefully what we will be able to do. And then, so it's perfectly reasonable, I think, for Matt to keep on experimenting with how can we track people's progress. And it may or may not be the thing that goes down well with our, the users that we test with at the end of the design sprint.
Okay, so Matt,
Yeah.
where are you with this?
Actually, it's not a priority for me now. I'm just using it at the moment to teach Avinash the system.
Great.
Which I picked that other ticket, the clicky on the videos. I'm going to work on that and try to get it done, but I'm not going to try to get the user
Yeah.
problems.
So
Does that sound reasonable? Or?
should we add that kind of text summary, or I can add it to the GitHub issue? This is
So-
where we are on this.
Yeah, right in the top of it. Not,
Yeah, so that anybody coming in and looking at this and
Yep.
see that it's an up for grabs, it understands this is really the larger context of it and it's lower priority.
low priority spike.
Maybe you should take up for grabs off it.
That's what I would do, but I don't know what the
Yeah, you could certainly do that. I mean, I think when something, it should seem to me that if something has up for grabs and someone assigned to it, it's sort of not up for grabs anymore because someone has grabbed it. But
okay, so I'll take that off, or I guess I can't, but somebody can, and
Yeah.
I'll add the comment.
Okay.
Okay, good.
yeah, great that we could do
sounds
that.
good.
I was going to say, and actually, maybe so the design sprint is also going to include room for input from experts, like briefly on day 1 and from testers on day 5, and we can maybe arrange that you could be, if you were free.
Yeah, I'll definitely check in and try and coordinate that. Right. What are good times that I can devote to that, as
Yeah.
opposed to being awake at 4:30 every morning for a week.
Yeah, no, and our apologies. We are, what's the word? Time zonally challenged, and our apologies for that. Clearly, we could all be.
Hey, it's the real world.
Yeah. And And what we should be trying to do is like distribute not just to yourself but to others. Like what for those people who can't make the bigger commitment or it's time zone issue is when are the times that they can come in and contribute to the process. Yeah, cool. Well, great that we can have that discussion. Are we now? I think we're goodish for this meeting. Does anybody else have any other Website One business that they want to discuss?
At a later time, I don't want to do it now, but I just want to plus one. What Michael has said is that having some overviews or some larger level long-term goals would be really helpful. And it sounds like is what's going to come out of the design sprint, or a lot of it will.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the big picture is that we would like, more people to be, joining in on projects and contributing to projects and deriving value from contributing to those projects and those projects being successful. And the more of those people who can be, premium mod, premium face-to-face to help support the running of the community, and the more of those projects can be paying, the better. And yeah, so hopefully that's when the design sprint starts with, let's all agree on this big, long-term goal, next 6 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, and we can all get on the same page, and hopefully that will inform lots of what we do for the Async Voter and the Website One project and lots of other things.
Okay, great.
Cool. All right. Well, that's our kickoff. Lokesh, you've been, listening intently. I know it's maybe all new. I don't know how much made sense. Do you have any questions at all?
Yeah, I was wondering that earlier, I was seeing that you were using Pivotal Tracker. But now I'm seeing that you are using Waffle. Are these the same?
They are similar in some ways. Yeah, we're using Waffle in Website One. We use Pivotal Tracker in local support. So that's here. They both provide boards. We have it set up so that in the Pivotal Tracker, it tends to be the completed things are on the left-hand side, and the things that are going to be done in the future on the right-hand side. Over here it's going the other way from left to right. And Waffle, they are basically the same in as much as each ticket defines a unit of work and can have a number associated with it to indicate how complicated it is. Waffle has the interesting feature that all of the things here in Waffle are also tickets in GitHub. So you can think of Waffle as kind of a layer that goes over. So if I click here on this item, Waffle is there. It's a layer like over the issues that exist in Website One. So that's kind of like a positive feature about it. It doesn't have some of the other features of Pivotal, and different people prefer different things about them, and on different projects may use different trackers. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Okay. And well, I guess what we should maybe do is wrap up there. And Lokesh, do you? I mean, maybe I'll stop the broadcast, and Lokesh, you and I can just spend a little time helping you. If you need to get set up with anything. Let's sort